Today we're going to make some adorable rustic stockings. Let's get started. First, I'm taking my soapstone pencil from Happy Dotting Company and I'm going to line out some kind of chunky stockings on each of these 3 rocks. So just that top white fuzzy part and then kind of that sock bottom. Then I'm going to fill in those stockings with some Liquitex gesso, some white gesso as a base coat on all 3 rocks. This just gives us some grip and it helps bring out the solid and brightness of the colors. Although we're not really going for bright colors on these, we're going for kind of rustic, muted colors. So the color scheme is going to be this berry, the deep green, and a cream color. And I'm going to take the berry and the green because they're pretty dark colors, and I'm going to tone them down a little bit with the cream by mixing the cream color into them to kind of bring that muted berry and kind of a muted, kind of a forest hunter green. It's just a nice, pretty color green. So a different take on holiday colors. And then I am just going to take these colors and add them to my stockings. So you can see this comes out kind of like a purpley red, a nice muted berry color. I really loved how this came out. And I'm just going to fill in my stocking with a first coat, and then I'm going to come back and do a second coat to make sure that I've got nice solid coverage of all of my colors. And I know it's really close to the holidays, but just like spooky season, I'm still painting my holiday rocks, so I'm still going to share them with you, even if it's right up to the last minute. So don't feel bad if you don't have time or you're done painting your holiday rocks. The nice thing about the holidays is that they come around every year, and these videos will be here for you every year if you want to come back and paint these designs. Take this elephant gray paint and a very thin nail art brush and create 2 little lines coming down on each of the stockings, so kind of like strings to have something decorative on the end. Back to that muted berry paint and create 2 little dots with a dotting tool. So these could be kind of pom-poms, or you could think of them as berries. Whatever your little heart imagines. I just used that particular paint. And for the stocking that is the same color, I just took a little bit more of the berry and blended it with some of our muted berry color just to give it a little bit darker of a hue so that it will show up when I put the dots on the stocking. Dip into that muted green paint, and I'm going to create a little bit of kind of an evergreen greenery coming down off of the stocking as well. So I'm using a disposable eyeliner brush, and then I'm just going to make a line going straight down and then just kind of little fine brush strokes going off the sides, kind of like a miniature Christmas tree if you think about the shape of what a Christmas tree would look like. But just making these very fine lines and just kind of filling it in, letting the paint kind of expire on the brush, like going all the way down the little greenery and just going back and forth, up and down. Comes to the green stocking, I'm just going straight into the dark green paint so that it will have something to show up. If I used the muted green, it wouldn't show up at all. So I'm going in with the darker paint. And then I realized I could create a little bit more dimension in this greenery if I alternated with the muted green and the dark green. So I did that first on the green stocking, and then I decided to go back and do that kind of alternating between the two colors on the cream colored stocking and the berry colored stocking because it looked so much better. So that's kind of a way you could create a little bit more dimension, is alternating between a lighter and a darker green. Now with the green paint, I'm going to create another version of the muted paint like we did with the berry, just with the green color this time. And what I'm going to do, since it's just slightly darker, is create some dotted accents all over the stocking. So with this one, I decided to do a triangle pattern of dots, one on top and two on the bottom, and then just kind of repeat that pattern all over the green stocking. And it's just enough difference in the color that it shows up and it's not overpowering, but it's a nice little design accent. And then with the berry paint, we already had that darker version of the muted berry paint, but I decided to do just straight dots across the entire design, and they do differ from the berries because they're smaller, but I decided to do just dots on the berry and the cream. The cream had bigger dots than the berry or the green stocking. And then for the white part of the stocking, I'm taking some white matte acrylic craft paint, and I'm using a square brush and really kind of putting it on kind of thick and dabbing it so that it creates the texture of that soft fuzzy part of the top of a stocking. So these will no longer have those clean, crisp lines going around them. It has kind of that fuzzy, uneven surface, and there's texture to this part, so it just gives that fuzzy look. Now I realized that my gray lines were not showing up very well, so I'm going to take the gray paint and lighten it, just like we did the other colors, with the cream to lighten it up a little bit, and then I'm going to repaint those gray lines so that they show up a little better. They kind of blended into the green and the berry a little too much, so they needed to be kind of reawakened so that they showed on the design. For a little extra holiday sparkle, I'm going to add some Folk Art Extreme Hologram glitter paint onto each of the little berries or the pom-poms, whatever you want to call them, and then taking that disposable eyeliner brush again and just adding a tiny bit of sparkle to the greenery that's on each of the stockings as well. I love this rustic look and all of the muted colors, and I think we're probably going to see a return of this theme when Valentine's Day rolls around, because I can envision some very pretty Valentine designs that fit with this kind of muted color theme and kind of the neutral colors. I just really like it. I hope you enjoyed this design too, and if you want to give it a try, you still have time. If not, there's always next year. Thanks for stopping by to watch, and I'll see you next time. Take care.